So I'm Jerry Green, and I'm a student of Aikido, serious student for about 25 plus years. And Aikido is known as the martial art of peace. It was founded by a karate champion, Morihei Oyashiba, in Japan when he became older and knew that there would be younger and stronger men than he, and he had something of an epiphany that changed his martial art practice. Aikido is 3 syllables. I means blending. Ki is universal life force, universal energy. I have my own personal energy, and I also have a connection with this larger force. And Do is the study of. In Aikido, we don't deal with verbal pressure, we deal with physical pressure. We take hold of one another. But words grab us too, and shadows are often come in the form of a statement about ourselves, like, be more like me, is what I got from my father. Or, you could do this better, is what I got from my mother. And it evokes an attitude that I carry with me unconsciously, and I carry it in my body. And in our process facilitation work, we seek to find where that lives in the body, usually by asking where the pressure, where the tensions feel, and what size and what color are they, and what shape are they, and what do they sound like. In Aikido, we work with touching them somatically. And I want to demonstrate that by asking one of my brothers, Mark, to come up here and work with me on this. Okay, so when I think about looking for my embodied response to my shadow, it's easiest for me to think about translating the shadow into a statement of pressure about me, a statement that I feel as pressure. So Mark, what are we working on?
My work tonight is to transform how I respond to an overwhelming work situation.
Okay.
In my workplace.
All right. You want to give me a setting? Give me an example.
The data is I had made plans to go to dinner with my friend, and late in the afternoon my boss comes in and says to me, Mark, we need you to finish this tonight.
Okay, so as you stand here now, just put yourself into the headspace that you're going out to dinner with your friends, and hold your plans out in front of you, like you're holding in a basket.
Yeah, that's something I care about.
Yeah, it's what you want to do, and I'm your boss, and I just happen to drop in, and I say, Mark, I got something for you to do now. Would you? All right, so you happy with that response?
I feel like I've just been rolled over, and my response is I just caved in.
Okay, so you caved into that one. So that's what you don't want to do, right?
Right.
Okay, so I want you to practice finding ground, get into your feet,
okay.
Get into your center, and from your center, begin to feel some expansion that includes your arms. It's not you, it's something, it's the universe. It's the universal energy that you want to feel in your body.
Okay.
And that energy actually goes both ways. You can receive pressure with that energy. So hold that into a bag or a basket into which you can receive, if I were to pour something, and it's also giving. You're also extending so that your presence is a vehicle for extending into, let's say your boss comes and wants to take you away from your dinner plans. So I want you to feel that in your body.
Okay.
And I want you to hold this key basket in front of you that can both be receptive and extending.
I'm feeling it now.
Okay?
Yeah.
And extend it toward me a little bit so you know that here's where the pressure's coming from. I'm going to be your boss, and I'm going to say, Mark, I don't know what you're doing tonight, but I got some work for you. How about that? Whoa. I got.
Give it to me again. I want to feel better.
All right, so Mark,
More pressure.
would you do this for me, Mark?
Okay.
How did that feel?
I feel like what was coming at me was more around me. I felt really centered, stable. I wasn't reactive. And whatever was coming at me was like flowing past me.
All right, so I want you to put that in a statement. Let's do it again. And I want you to respond to the statement that you hear from your boss, from me, but respond in a way that includes how you feel in your body.
That
Includes how you feel in your
You want me
body.
to say something verbally, you mean?
Yeah, I want you to say something verbally, but like, I'm here and I'm doing what? I don't know. What's going on with you in your body? But respond to me, because I'm coming. I want your body elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And you're there.
Okay.
Got it? When you're ready. Here comes your boss.
Not ready yet.
You're not ready yet. You're thinking about whether to be ready.
I'm thinking.
Well, drop into your feet.
Right.
Feel your extension. Feel your expansion. Feel the energy of you that extends from Canada to Mexico and from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
You have that energy to bring to this situation.
Okay.
And you want to take your friend out to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And here comes your boss. Mark, I got work for you to do. What are you up to?
I've got plans tonight.
Ah. Okay. That feels different to me. Does it feel different to you?
Yeah.
How?
I feel like I put it back. I stayed stable with my plans for tonight, and then it was his problem.
Ah.
He's
Well,
probably
I
going to
do
put
have
it
a
back and make it my problem again, but if I'm coming from this place, I can come up with another choice.
All
What I
right.
feel is that I feel more choice.
Ah.
My reaction is to say, okay, fine, whatever you need. But at least I can't quite picture exactly what might be said after my response, but I feel like I'm responding and not just reacting. And if there was another comment, then I'd be able to respond to that and probably work out a creative solution. Because I still feel like I'm holding my ground here, but I'm very flexible at the same time.
So being in that space makes you feel more a choice.
I feel more choice, and I can think about more choices.
Okay. How would you make that into an affirmation?
As a man among men, I stand in my power and make, and I'm at choice. I mean, so I'm trying to formulate it into what it feels like. As a man among men.
So what was the practice that enabled you to be in choice? What did you actually do?
I ground myself
Right.
and notice my choices.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the embodiment piece, the grounding piece, the centering piece enabled the choice piece.
Exactly.
So when I'm grounded and centered in my body, I'm at choice.
Exactly.
All right. Can you say that?
As a man among men, when I'm grounded in my body, I notice my choices.
Good. Now, what I'm getting at is, can I, if I if this is a transformational experience, can I walk out of this experience feeling more embodied and keep that embodiment? Because I can still talk from being grounded and centered. My mind still works. I have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
So I don't have to let go of this in order to be in my head.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I just have to remember to go here so that I can experience it.
All right, you're remembered. Good. Okay, so I want to demonstrate the application of 3 predisposed responses that I learned from practicing Aikido. When somebody grabs me and I'm really not prepared, I'm not grounded and centered in my body, I will either find myself pushing back, like if Brad takes hold of my wrists and I feel like it's my mother telling me I'm not good enough, and I'm going to push back against that. And if he's bigger than me, he's going to win this battle. Or if my dad's telling me, be more like me, Jerry. And my response to that is, I just freeze up. I don't know what to do, and my own rigidity will cause me to lose balance. He doesn't have to have much. And if my daughter's saying to me, Dad, I need your help. Dad, help me out. I'm gonna give into that. I gotta cave into that. When I just sort of melt into, I lose my own self. I'm willing to sacrifice myself. Those are the 3 responses: caving in, pushing back, and getting rigid. It's like Virginia Satir's psychological model of fight, flight, and freeze. Only it's described in the body. Now, my mother, my father, and my sister are in me unconsciously. I carry them around all the time. When I say unconsciously, I mean I can't see them. They're in the past, and they're not visible to me. So I need to be prepared as I'm walking through my day to face these shadow statements as though they were stalking me. And I need to find my ground and center before. Let me just illustrate again. Ground and center is here. I'm sort of under Brad here. He can put pressure on me, and I'm not really pushing back. I'm sending that pressure down through here. Okay? So I've transformed this, do that again, desire to push back against that, which he's a strong guy. And right in the middle of that, I can open up, and he'll soften when I soften. All right, now, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to be prepared to do while I'm going about my day, and I know something's going to trigger me from the past. It's not going to be visible. So Brad, I want you to walk around behind me, and when I turn to face you, I want you to grab me. And he caught me a little off balance, so I'm correcting here, and I've got my ground and extension here, and let go. I want to do that again. I'm walking around. I want to really connect with what's behind me, what's beneath me, what's all around me. And turn to face. That was better. And he settled. That's interesting to see that. When I settle, he settles. Right, so initial minutes and just reflect on what we've been through, but let's start with how we feel right now after having witnessed or experienced this work. And we can have a little chat about it, but I think I'd like to ask Mark to just tell me how you feel right now.
I'm feeling in my power, feeling good, grounded, solid.
That's what I see, too. I'm feeling a little relieved myself, feeling grateful for having tried to put this in this form. And I can feel settled into my chair even more than I felt settled into my feet standing doing this. So as an observer, Brad, from the back of the room, what did you see? How did you feel about what you saw?
Well, actually witnessing the work that Mark did, and in my present life, having my own pressure statement to work through, I was able to actually do some processing and apply the work to my life's challenges, one of them. So the witness was to actually I was able to take away some of the deflection of the pressure coming from the outside.
While you were experiencing that while you're witnessing the work?
Yes.
Huh.
So even though you may not be doing the work, by witnessing, you're able to actually do some processing internally, and it was very helpful for me.
So my work is your work.
Yes.
That's good. And I also noticed that when one man in an encounter becomes grounded and centered, it happens. It happens with the other person. I noticed when you and I were working that when I grounded under your pressure, you softened. Your body changed. Right? So I think what we're speaking to now is as a witness for Mark's work, it affects us in the same way.
And I'd like to share that I've successfully applied some of this work in the real world, and that it does quickly turn around negative energy that comes out of nowhere. And I'm able to absorb or deflect that and turn things around by being grounded. It's been very valuable for me in all my life's experiences.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, as what happened in the work we just did, was originally I feel very disconnected from myself, from my needs and feelings and stuff, and reconnecting with myself allows an opportunity to connect more with this other person, and that there is this connection. It's just, you know, hard for me to sense when I'm really the one who's disconnected from what's going on inside me.
So the Aikido principle here is that when we're attacked, we kind of want to do something about the attacker.
Yeah, the other person.
I want my mother to stop doing this, and I want my dad to do something different too, but I can't change them. I certainly can't change them anymore now. They're not around anymore, but they're in me. But I can change my response. And in changing my response, I affect the pressure. I affect my attacker. O-sensei was prone to say that the attacker is off balance already because he's attacking you.
That's a good point, yeah.
And in Aikido we also learned that being attacked is actually a gift. Why is it a gift? Right? For one, if you're attacking me, I have all of your attention. Okay? So if I try to overpower you or try to run away from you, I'm actually giving you my energy. If I can accept this attack as a gift and practice being the center of the universe, of which this attacker's out of kilter, right? Then you go for the role. So that's challenging to imagine my shadow as a gift, but we do learn that. We learn that in our other processes. The gift is that it gets us to the gold. The gold is in here. The gold is in our core, is in our center. It's not in the idea of it. Right? And so what we're working with here is can we embody the feeling of ground and center? Is that a more reliable source?
Place to go.
I mean, ultimately, that's what I think all of our facilitated processes evoke, is an embodied presence. So far, most of the technology brings us into our body through questioning, through our minds. And for many men, that's important. For some men, I just want to feel it.
Mm-hmm. It certainly feels different after we've finished our magician work than when we started. So, you know, it's all taking place inside. And I like what you just said about how our attacker is already off balance. Say the boss coming into work, well, he's got a problem, he's got something he needs to have done tonight, and he's putting it on to me. I never noticed that before, that they're already out of balance, so I need to model being in balance for all of the people involved.
And your predisposed response to caving in was taking on his problem.
Yeah, that's what I was well trained to do growing up.
So you were allowing his out of balance to imbalance you.
Yes.
Good. Good realization. All right, so these are principles that we can take with us.
Daily life, yeah.
Any other closing thoughts?
Gratitude.
You feel complete?
Appreciation.
Thank you.
Feel complete.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. I feel complete.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks.
Okay, so what we've just done together is explore a very direct route to what many of our facilitated processes get us to, which is the embodied feeling of our predisposed response to a shadow belief, or what I call a pressure. And I'm really curious. I've demonstrated 3 or 4 different ways of approaching this. I think anyone can do this. My men's group has 5 out of 20 who've had some Aikido experience, and I imagine other men's groups also have men who are experienced in Aikido, in Tai Chi, in yoga, in massage, bodywork, who are somatically inclined, and who also might be a little impatient with a very elaborate conceptual framework to get a man who's doing some work into his feelings, into his body. And my question to you would be, how might you use this work, either this as a technique, what I've actually demonstrated, or just as inspiration for going directly through the feeling state?